Hey, this is Ruben-Jay, and you are watching and listening to the Ruben-Jay Report. Welcome back. Yesterday was a great day. Great numbers, great reception from people. I'm super excited for what the future of this podcast holds. As you can tell, I'm not going live today. I am doing a little pre-production. Got a little bit of a packed schedule today, so I thought I'd get the show out of the way when I had a few moments and talk about today. So before we do, I wanted to quickly say, hey, you know what? I know right now is not the best time to be saying, hey, give me some money. But if you feel like supporting the show, my Venmo, PayPal, and CashApp information is all in the description down below. Feel free to send a tip if you'd like to help survive. I'm trying to survive. But also, if you'd rather just head over to multimediamouth.com. That's multimediamouth.com/Amazon. Click on the banner that's on that page, and we will get a percentage of whatever you do as far as shopping there goes. So that also helps. So today I am here to say thank God for Donald Trump. And here's why. You know, it's funny because Donald Trump is literally the most polarizing person in the world. For every reason that we find to love him, there are people who find reasons, and I put reasons in quotation marks for those who aren't watching this, to hate him. I mean, think about it. He's a billionaire, but he's rejected by the rich, and the poor complain about the fact that he's filed for bankruptcy, which is a normal thing. Bankruptcy isn't some taboo thing that makes you illegitimate of a business person. He's a celebrity, but Hollywood only loves to hate on him. He's a ratings draw for any show he's ever on. Yet the mainstream media, the mainstream news, refuse to have him on his programs. He's the president of the United States, yet the politicians despise him. And why do they despise him? It's very clear. It's very simple. They despise him because he reminds them of what they are not. Trump reminds politicians of who they are not. What he's done in 3 years as president is more than what most of these people have done in their lifetime as lifetime politicians. The only thing many of these politicians have been able to do is find a way to become richer people off the public dime. So today I'm here to say thank God for President Trump. I'm here to say thank God for President Donald Trump. Yes, it's a very controversial thing to say in today's day. But let me be completely open and honest about this. If any other person was president right now, this lockdown that we're in, which by the way, don't call it a quarantine, it's a lockdown, it would have a forever effect. It wouldn't be, there would not be an end date to this lockdown. America would be locked down forever. Hell, if anyone else was president, martial law would probably be enacted right now. Our guns would have probably been confiscated, and we'd see our social media voices being silenced even more. I wouldn't be able to be doing this podcast right now, more likely than not, if somebody else was president. And while many of those things feel like they are happening on a state and local level, yes, believe it or not, there are lots of what I call communist states being developed in the United States. California is one of them. Michigan, another one. At least the American people have the best ally possible in the White House, and that's Donald Trump. Yes, I'm being 100% serious here. Think about it. If Hillary Clinton were president right now, I would actually probably be telling you to start hatching an escape plan, because we probably would need it. I mean, Hillary Clinton, you could see that she was a power hungry person, whereas Donald Trump was an American dream person. Barack Obama so much said so in one of his college papers. The American dream is to be Donald Trump. That's my Obama. Not great, but whatever. Donald Trump has been the biggest ally to the lifeblood of this country since day one. He has been on the side of the American worker since day one. Trump has been vocal about his intentions of opening up this economy in this country again. Even though he has given way to the left and has caved to some of the media demands of the left, he kind of had to do it to save face. I mean, think about it. If Trump would have said, no, I'm not going to put out 15 days to slow the spread, and I'm not going to allow people to lock down the country, every single one of those deaths would have been accounted to President Trump. He has no win. Trump has no wins. There's nothing he can do in the mind of the media and in the left that he walks out victorious. But we're at the point now where he's saying, screw it. It's time to fight back. He's let his guidelines expire. He wants the states to decide, which, by the way, it's a very powerful thing for a president to say, hey, you know what? I want the states to decide. Obama wouldn't do that. Obama would be fighting everybody who wanted to open right now. Hillary would. She'd fight every minute. So keep that in mind. So let's take a quick deep dive into who is Donald Trump. We should keep this in mind. When President Trump came into office in January 2017, the stock market was about 19,000 points, give or take. Actually, it was a little bit higher than that. It was great. It was a good number. Good number. You know, longest recovery in American history, but good number. Well, in the final days of January 2020, the stock market was closer to 29,000 points. It wasn't until the left and the media decided to throw coronavirus into the mix and caused the stock market to spiral out of control. And even today, the stock market's beginning to rebound. It wasn't until the left and the media decided that it was time to make coronavirus the Trump killer. And that's really what they're hoping, is that coronavirus became the Trump killer, because, Stormy Daniels didn't kill it. Access Hollywood tapes didn't do it. Russia didn't do it. Bob Mueller didn't do it. Ukraine didn't do it. The impeachment didn't do it. Maybe coronavirus will. And we have people like Bill Maher, who is a left-wing propaganda artist. He's come out and said, I hope that there's a recession, because that's probably the only way that we will be able to defeat Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was able to bring the stock market to historic highs once before, you best believe he can do it again. One of the biggest things that we have going for this is that I believe President Trump is at his best when his back is up against the wall. When he filed for bankruptcy in his business, not only was he able to get a lot of creditors off his back, he was able to get a lot of those creditors to give him more money. And he became richer off the bankruptcy. Sure, a little black eye in the process, but that's what happens when you're in a fight. You get dirty, you get black eyes. That's a fight. So on the back of bankruptcy, he becomes richer and more famous. This coronavirus shutdown, or lockdown, I should say, has shown us one thing. America needs President Trump more now than it ever has before. We thought 2016 was a game changer. 2020 is going to become an election of freedom or lockdown. It's important for the survival of the American dream for Donald Trump to remain president. I guarantee you that if Joe Biden, well, it wouldn't be Joe Biden, it would be his administration, is elected into office, it will be the end of the American dream. That will be the final nail in the coffin for the American dream. So we have to band together as Americans, as patriots, and as American dreamers to make sure that President Trump remains president in November. The left will want us all to fail. The left want us to hate one another. The left want us to think that President Trump failed. But in reality, yeah, sure, if you look at it on paper, this is a massive failure. But it was an artificial failure. This is like being the greatest football player who ever lived, the greatest quarterback who ever lived. And on the night of the Super Bowl, somebody broke into your house, the night before the Super Bowl, I should say. Someone broke into your house and broke your arm just hours before the game, just hours. Would that make you a failure of a quarterback? No. It's an artificial injury. It's not an injury that happened on the field. And that's what happened here. President Trump was having an historic run as president. And the left and the media could not stand for it. So we have to make sure that we tell the left and the media who's in charge here. It ain't them. So I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. Thank God for President Donald Trump. Well, my name is TheRuben-Jay. Thank you so much for tuning in to the TheRuben-Jay Report. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you feel like supporting the show, my Venmo, CashApp, all that fun stuff is in the description down below. Or you can head over to multimediamouth.com/Amazon, click on the banner and do some shopping, help support the show, help put some food on my table, and be able to make it possible to continue to do this. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.